Hello, everyone. Welcome to 3 Secrets to Having Audacious Confidence. I am your host for this experience, Helena Grant, and I am so delighted to welcome all of you into this space where we are going to be exploring getting a deeper understanding of confidence, and in particular, audacious confidence, and also getting a more embodied sense of what it means to be and have audacious confidence, to be audaciously confident, and to have audacious confidence. So as we are arriving, this is one of my favorite parts of hosting webinars, is tell me in the chat where you are and where you are joining from. I cannot wait to welcome you and hear where you are. I personally am in Connecticut, where it's a beautiful sunny day, and I am just feeling so super tingly about this experience for you today, the information that I have to share. And I want to get us fully settled. And again, I want to know where you are, where you're joining us from, and what is an area that you want to have more confidence in your life. Where are you looking to have more confidence in your life? So where are you, and where are you looking to have more confidence? So as you are sharing that in the chat, if you feel like you want to do that, I will give us a little overview of our agenda today, as well as fully and completely introduce myself. You are here because you are on my email list or on social media, or maybe heard about me through someone else that you follow. And it's important to convey all of the information about why you're here and who I am. So why you're here is, again, about confidence, and the etymology of confidence is with fidelity, con fidele. Con is with, fidele is fidelity. So that's hope, trust, and faith in yourself. That is confidence. And it is something that a lot of people want, and something that a lot of people also don't want, because there is a part of you that is afraid to be confident. And so we are here to fully embrace all aspects of you that both want and don't want what you think you want. Kind of mind flipping, I know. I love to flip minds. I'm all about reversing the flow, merging the timelines, and just giving you a whole new way to view your life, your experience, and live and express yourself in the world. So we are going to start with a little teaching in the beginning. I have some slides to share, and we are going to then move into a live demo with Tracy, who actually was a past participant in Courageous, which is my signature cornerstone program. It is an incredible journey through all sorts of transformational tools. And as Tracy shared with me yesterday when we were connecting before this webinar, it's more than a course or a program. It's really a life path. So Tracy is going to be our live demo today for the metanoia method, which is a transformational methodology that I am an emissary of, that I am bringing forth into the world. That is something I'll cover more in the slides, but it really is just a way of deeply, deeply understanding who you are and what you want and how to get it. And then at the end, we will be talking about Courageous, which is going to be opening for enrollment as of today and starting December 5th. And I'm going to be answering any questions you have. So I encourage you to stay on all the way to the end, because I have glorious bonuses for live attendees. Okay, so again, I am Helena Grant. I am a transformational coach. I am a business mentor and oracle. I'm also priestess of the non-physical collective entity called the Kite, who is channeling through me to help humanity live at a higher vibration, because we live in a very loving, highly intelligent, abundant universe, and they love to remind us of that. And I am also a certified 200-hour yoga teacher. I'm a certified existential king coach. I'm also certified in the summit creation process. I love creating summits. Again, probably how you found me. And I have 2 children. I'm the mother of 2 small humans, one who is entering pre-adolescence and the other who has fully arrived in toddlerhood. So it's a very unique way of living life, and it is just filled with so much joy and challenges in equal measure. And I am totally here for it, because it's all about the full spectrum of the human experience. So I'm going to check my notes here, make sure I hit on everything. And I believe that that covers everything. So just really particularly thrilled about where we stand in terms of human evolution. There's just so much that we have available to us, and we are primed for so much. And there's this whole new era of entrepreneurship that is coming forth into the world because we have so much available to us. And of course, it comes with tremendous joys and benefits, and also a lot of challenges, which is why I love to work with people in any stage of life. And particularly when you have something that you really want to be bringing into the world, whether it's your book, a program, artwork. It could take so many forms, but to me, we are here to be creators. We are here to channel that energy into the material plane and to really thrive in doing that and benefit immensely materially from it. It's just heaven is on earth, truly, absolutely. Okay, so we are going to move into our teaching segment here. And I am going to share my screen. I'm not sure if the chat is working. Hopefully it is. Is Anjali here? Anjali, if you're here, let me know. Shout out to Anjali. She is my back of the house admin ninja. Anjali raised her hand. Anjali, if you could just pop into the chat too, let us know that the chat is working. And she manages also client care. Oh, Anjali, Tracy says she's not able to access the link. So Anjali, if you could help Tracy out with that, just email her. 2 participants raised hands. I seem to be having some interesting, Tracy's here. Okay, Tracy and Anjali are both here. Wonderful. Amazing. I see you, and I'm so delighted that you are both here with everyone. All right, so I'm going to share my screen and dive right into our presentation today. 3 secrets to having audacious confidence. And when you have audacious confidence, pretty much you are just operating in the world unafraid to make mistakes. And it's really time to bust out of brain jail. And this is a deeply human way to operate in the world, that we set limitations. They can be very entertaining. They can provide us with a lot of structure when we have limitations, and they can also result in us feeling very constricted, very held back, very held down, and thus in this brain jail, this prison that becomes the mind. And, the mind can make a heaven of hell and a hell of heaven. And that is really what I'm talking about with brain jail. So today it's time to, bust out. Maybe even stretch your arms out a little bit and feel that expansiveness in your body. So I want to get into what it means to have audacious confidence. Audacious confidence you think of, we get into the etymology of audacious, which pertains to the auditory sense, what you can hear. And then, of course, confidence, confidere, with fidelity. And so it's the fidelity that can be heard, the fidelity that can be sensed, the fidelity that really can't be taken away because it's just so audacious. It's absolutely everywhere. You're just dripping in it. And it's something that you have. It's something that you have. And you can utilize it. You can exercise it anytime you want. It is completely up to you. You can turn it on, you can turn it off. You can turn it on full blast. You can adjust it a little bit, depending on where you are and what you need. So it, to me, means also having effervescent joy, just that joy that just bubbles up from your depths. It just oozes out of you. It is something that people are, it's like they're basking in sunlight because of the effervescent joy that you have, just like champagne bubbles that are just always bubbling and rising to the surface. And there's just no end to it. No end to it. So effervescent joy. And also unabashed expression. There's so much restraint. There's so much constriction when it comes to fully sharing yourself with the world and having the confidence that you've likely been trying to cultivate in your life. And so when you have audacious confidence, it's just this unabashed, fully released, relaxed expression that you are in this embodied state, and it is just so available to you. There is truly no end to it. Unbelievably unabashed and abundant. And also levity. You feel lighter. You feel less held back. You feel less constricted. You have this lightening in your system, maybe because there was lightning involved, but it is this wonderful feeling of being released from the leaden aspects of being a human with this brilliant, brilliant mind. Truly, it's extraordinary what our minds are capable of on both ends of the spectrum. And a lot of times the thoughts that you're having and the experiences that you're undergoing result in feeling a lot of heft in the body. I feel so heavy. I don't feel well. I feel so tired, even when I think about doing what I want to do or having what I want to have. And so when you get to this place of having audacious confidence, there's just levity. That does not mean that you never feel the heft. It just means you know what to do with it. You know where you're headed in terms of attaining levity, employing levity, exercising levity, calling it in, and it can feel so, so good. So, so good. So now you're here. You want to know the 3 secrets, the 3 secrets to having this audacious confidence. Number 1, direction. Number 2 is reflection and projection. And then number 3 is dedication. And I want to know which one of those lands for you. What are you most interested in? What is maybe really hitting you? What do you want to know more about? Which one of those 3 is just like, ooh, what does that mean? Why are these even secrets? Let me know in the chat. I'm going to just take a minute here. And I actually, let's see, let me know in the chat. Let me just check in here. If you feel like sharing. And I will also keep going. So direction, reflection, projection, and dedication. Little sip of water. And we're going to start with number 1, direction. So it's really easy to say to yourself, I just want to have confidence. which is why I asked in the beginning, in what area of your life do you want to have more confidence? Because the brain needs direction. When you have direction, you have clarity, you have structure, and you have focus. So clarity means that you are able to see where you are headed. You have a compass in place to guide you in the journey towards what you want to be saying, what you want to be doing, how you want to be existing, wherever you want to have the audacious confidence. And the structure provides the conduit through which that energy can travel. So a lot of times people are like, well, I don't want structure because I want to feel in flow. And we hear a lot about the benefits of the flow state and how wonderful that is. And I am all about it. So that is absolutely valid, but the river needs the banks in order to flow most effectively. It needs to be contained. It needs to have something holding it in order to move in the direction that it needs to go in. So that is the structure that needs to be in place as you are employing the direction required to attain having the audacious confidence. And then finally, the focus. So you've got the clarity about where you want to be going, what you want to be having, where you want to have the audacious confidence. You are going to be putting the structure in place in order to get there. And then focus. So the minute you claim what you want and where you might want to have this audacious confidence, guess what's going to happen? You are going to create, as the infinite, unbelievable, extraordinary creator you are, all kinds of obstacles and difficulties and hurdles that are going to interfere with you attaining what you set out to attain. Maybe it's your pipe dream of having a huge gallery opening with multimedia art in your neighborhood. Maybe it's the book of poetry that you want to deliver into the world and publish. Maybe it's a course where you're teaching people how to use authentic movement and spoken word and mindset. The minute you claim that, it's so powerful. And whoop, what swoops in is things that are going to pull you away from exactly that, because attaining it is very uncomfortable. There are going to be things that come up. So you need the focus. You need the focus that is involved in ascertaining what the direction is. Okay. Let's let that, I love this picture of the river, by the way, with like the trees and the rocks and the rapids, but you also, even with the rapids, you have some like nice little eddies in there. It's just, it's beautiful. And it reminds me of my beloved Adirondacks. Okay, so here we have reflection, projection. So this is secret number 2, the reflection, projection, interaction. If you don't like your reflection, how can you love your projection? There are no others. So let's unpack this a little bit. It's really easy for us to despise our reflection. We look in the mirror and think, oh my goodness, all these flaws, I look so terrible. Now in this Zoom world, we're seeing ourselves on Zoom. We have all these judgments that arise and all of these heavy thoughts that come up and weigh us down. And when you don't like that reflection, it's really easy to be like, well, I'm just not going to look in the mirror. No problem. Okay. Yes, you can. But if you aren't loving or even liking what you're seeing reflected back at you one-to-one with your own reflection, how can you love what you're putting out into the world? The first relationship you need to be working on is the one that you have with yourself, your full self, your infinite self. And why? Because there are no others. We live in a fractal universe. Everyone, everything is just being seen by us and being reflected into the lens of our eyes and projected onto our brains. And that is exactly what we are doing out in the world. So there really is no difference between your reflection and your projection. And when you work on the relationship you have with yourself and specifically with your reflection, the relationship that you have with what you're projecting out into the world takes on a whole new meaning. You can be heard in a whole new way. You can be seen in a whole new way that has that effervescent joy, that unabashed expression, and that levity that I was talking about in the beginning. And this term right here, there are no others. This is one of the main tenets of the Courageous program. There are no others. And this, to me, I come back to all the time. Anytime I'm experiencing someone that might be animating me a little bit or rubbing me in a direction that I'm not enjoying, I bring in these words. There are no others. This person that I'm seeing seems like it's someone other than me, but they are not someone other than me. They are me. They are a different version of me. They're their own unique version of me, but it's all me that I am seeing. And this isn't to be self-centered. This is actually to really tune into this concept of oneness, that we all come from the same place and everything is energy. And so what you're seeing out there is really just being viewed through your subjective experience. And when you are having a subjective experience with your own reflection that's filled with judgment, shame, guilt, and blame, guess what's being projected out into the world? And then that puts you on the other side of magnetism, which is repulsion. So there are no others. You can always come back to this. And I really personally employ this a lot with other people, but there are no others in terms of your own personal experience, your feelings, your emotions, your thoughts, your judgments. They're not other. They are not other to you. They are a part of you. They are within you, and they are also being taken in from the outside and projected out into the world. So there are no others. Let that land. That's a big one. That's a really, really big one. And I feel like if more people employed that, there would be a lot of settling going on, and settling in a way that everyone could just calm down and stop blaming everyone for their experience. Okay, I'm going to take a quick sip as we move on to secret number 3, dedication. So this is expanding on secret number 1, which was the direction. But it's number 3 because you need to be so dedicated to that direction, dedicated to cultivating that relationship between your reflection and your projection. It takes commitment, it takes prioritization, and it takes a voracious appetite. So commitment, when we look at having confidence, confidele, it's being committed to cultivating that confidence within yourself and prioritizing yourself, your journey, because when you do that, you actually are prioritizing other people, but you're starting with you, and you're able to integrate what you need and cultivate what you need, and thus be able to share yourself in a more integrated, expansive, unabashed expressioned way with that levity that just feels so good, that is so magnetic, that is seemingly mysterious to people. What did you do to position yourself like this? How are you able to communicate the way that you are? Where do you get all that energy? Well, it comes from knowing the direction, setting up those structures, having the clarity, the focus, knowing what your reflection projection relationship is, and being so dedicated to that end goal, that version of you, that identity that is an embodiment of these principles and these secrets. So that commitment, and then prioritizing it. When I talked about the need for focus, those challenges, those hurdles, those blocks, you're going to face them. And so what is the priority? They're going to seem like they need to be the priority. This has to be handled. This has to be dealt with. I have to be pulled away from what I most need to be doing. But you come back to the dedication, and you're able to rearrange what's happening and how you're interacting with any given situation because of the prioritization that you are employing. And then voracious appetite. And of course, I have an image of an apple to relate to the archetype of Eve, the mother of all, who is to blame for the fall of humans. But to me, that really is, first of all, a myth that a lot of our modern society is structured upon. A lot of the body shame that occurs, and especially this oppression of women and minorities, comes from this myth, a story. But the myth represents the moment when humans, Eve in particular, made a decision to separate from being created for by God. God was creating everything and doing everything for Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. And Eve knew that the tree of life, because it was communicated through the serpent, was going to give her information that she couldn't ever rewind and go back on, but it separated the being created for into being a creator. And we're going to get more into this concept of the separation, but voracious appetite, when you are so hungry for that apple that is maybe a little bit out of reach, you're unstoppable. You are audaciously confident. You're talking about it. You're focused on it. You're committed to it. You're prioritizing because you have a voracious appetite for what it is and what it represents. And oh my goodness, it is so delicious and so delightful. And that bite is worth absolutely everything. So, direction, reflection, projection, and dedication. Those are the 3 secrets right there. And before we get into this next little bit, I'm going to mute myself for a quick second and I will be right back. So let that settle in, take a little sip of water. We're at the half-hour mark. Get up and stretch if you need to. We're going to just take a little minute break here. Okay, we are back, and hilariously enough, we are having some technical, there's something toggled on Zoom that the chat is not working. And so something you can do is put your comments in the Q&A, and hopefully that will work. I love the chat. I miss having it, but let's do the Q&A, and we'll just have to do another webinar down the line. And I'm just going to keep going with our presentation here. So let's continue with the slides. And again, pop into the Q&A if you would like, but here we go. I want to talk about how you've been programmed to view the selves. This is very linear thinking here. This is very ingrained in our modern society to look at the selves as past or future, higher or lower. And we get so focused on the higher self and the future self, and we really don't think about the past or the lower self, because it's like, oh, well, why would I worry about them? They're just not as desirable. That's in the past, or that's the lower self. Blech. But when you bring these selves together, you end up with this crossroads, this intersection. And that's why I have this circle around where these ideas, these concepts of the selves meet. And it is where you exist. This is the present moment right here, the crossroads, the intersection of the selves. And right there in the middle, the bullseye, is where your access to the infinite self exists, and where you can enter into an unbelievably healing energy that is there to provide for you and guide you in your journey of having the direction, the new relationship with the reflection and your projection, and your dedication. So, what is the infinite self? So again, we really have a lot of terminology around the past and future self, the higher and the lower. And the infinite self is the self that you are, that extends in all directions at once, across all planes, all timelines, all dimensions. So the infinite self is able to help you access the quote unquote future self, as well as the past self, the higher self and the lower self, without differentiating necessarily between the timelines, because time is really, the linear time is a human construct. And the infinite self helps you open up to what possibilities exist for you in the present moment, and help with you having access to a new perspective on what you call, quote unquote, the past, and what you view as the quote unquote lower self, and also giving you that access, that direction to the higher, quote, and future selves, where really all time is one. We only ever have the present moment. We have concepts of the past and future, but it's all here now. And it's always either becoming the past or moving into the future. So the infinite self work and accessing it and working with it requires absolute dedication to being fully present. And the entryway is through the body, using the body and the mind in harmony with one another, in conjunction with one another. And it's just a really beautiful, healing, extraordinary place to move into, and know that you always have that available to you. It just takes a little bit of conscious work and attention to remember it and to use it and to benefit from it. And when you do the healing work, when you move into working with the past and connecting it with the future, you're healing not just for you, but for everyone, because there are no others. And when I do this infinite self work with people, which you'll experience in the live demo, there is this concept of the infinity mirror, where it's reflecting both going forward and reflecting going backward. It's both reflecting and projecting. Okay, so this is the image I like to present to represent the disconnected state that most people live their lives in continuously, where you have the upper/spirit chakras, which are subtle energy centers in your body that the mystics, the Vedics, have been telling us for centuries exist. And the lower/animal chakras, the root, sacral, and solar plexus chakras, with their energy moving down towards the earth. So upper chakras moving up, lower chakras moving downward, and lower tends to represent the unconscious mind as well. And the upper chakras represent the more conscious mind. And when you have these three chakras with their energy moving down, getting pushed away, repressed, set aside, overridden, then the upper chakra is moving up, ever upwards. What happens to the heart? The true crossroads, the intersection of your being. It's left in the middle. What is it doing? It's just hanging out, wondering, when am I going to get tuned into, tapped into? When am I going to be able to truly act as the most glorious, magnificent machine in the universe? Bring it on, people. So this is what the natural flow is. Natural flow of your subtle anatomy, which is affected and contributed to by our modern society, very materialist society, where we view these upper chakras as more desirable to be in. They are a lot lighter. They can be a lot, quote unquote, easier to work with. And again, they have this very desirable connection to the divine and to sight through the third eye, and of course, expression through the throat. And so you can speak. A lot of people just speak from these upper three chakras. They're not speaking from their heart, and they certainly are not bringing up into their expression the lower animal aspects of their subtle anatomy. So this divided state is why we see a lot of people who think they are in a body, but oh my goodness, the head is just floating all up here with all kinds of anxieties and judgments and shame and guilt. And oh my God, I'm such a terrible person and I should do this and I have to do this. And nothing ever gets done. And the body's just like, oh wait, I'm just trying to catch up with the head that you have there. Wait, what am I doing? Ah. So this is the disconnection that so many people are in. And so what is the solution? Well, first of all, allow the head to bow to the heart. And this is both physical and figurative, and also metaphysical and literal. So allowing the head to bow to the heart, to come into service to the heart and undergo metanoia. So metanoia is a really big word for me personally and in my work in the world. It is a Greek word that has no literal translation in English, and the closest we can get is reverse the flow. And metanoia is the response that Jesus gave when someone asked him, how are you able to do all of this miraculous healing work? Healing the lepers, giving people back their sight, raising the dead, walking on water, turning water into wine. And he said, undergo metanoia. You need to reverse the flow of your being, which the Catholic Church, along with creating the myth of the fall, translated into repent. So feel really bad about yourself and run around with your head and your body disconnected because you're such a terrible person just being in a body and being human. And what the word metanoia, which I had this unbelievable dream experience, I considered a cornerstone dream where I was shown that I'm supposed to deliver metanoia as the good news everyone is waiting for. We just need to reverse the flow of our beings, people, and bring the subtle energies, the channels back into communication with each other, to go from disconnected to united, to bring the upper chakras down, lower them, and raise the lower chakras up and unite it all in the heart, the crossroads, the intersection of yourselves. The past and the future, the higher and the lower, it's all right here in the heart, the core of your being, which in French is le cœur. So metanoia, reverse the flow. That is how we unite and bring that head and body back into communion and communication with one another and become a full, whole, united, integrated self. That is what we need more of in this world. Integrated selves who are out there sharing themselves with audacious confidence. So, we have a Q&A, not a question. Hi from down under. Hello, Patty. Nice to see you. Thank you for being here. Yes, everyone, throw it all in the Q&A. I would love to see it. That is just an amazing way to feel your energy. And it doesn't have to be a question. It can be a comment. Okay, so how do you go from divided to united? Well, we already talked about that. You undergo metanoia. You really center yourself. You focus your attention, your energy, your direction, your focus, your clarity on being in that united state of having those subtle energy centers contributing and meeting in the heart, the core of your being. And in doing that, you become the diamond body. You become that version of you that is undivided, indivisible, and truly just with such strength and such clarity. And you can just have so many facets, and you can be shining in the world in just extraordinary ways. You can be writing that oracle card deck and the commentary, and you can be just taking off those creative projects that are on the back burner and really bringing those out into the world and showing up on social media, really sharing your own content, your own perspectives, not just other people's, and welcoming in the reactions and the responses. That is when you have audacious confidence as well. And the best way to get there is going through this process of undergoing metanoia. So the metanoia method has 7 steps. And today we're going to be focusing on step number 2. So step number 1 is Piro, P-I-R-O, pause, inhale, recognize, and find the opposite. And that is something that has been sprinkled into my teachings all along. And today I am going into, with our live demo, this step number 2, excavate, relate, oscillate, and liberate. So we're moving in a clockwise fashion. I considered reversing it, but I just felt like that would be too brain scrambling. And I just want to give you brain flipping nuggets, not brain scrambling nuggets. So we go in clockwise fashion around this diamond, and the arrows come in because we're bringing in the energy of this process into the center, in through the channels of metanoia and reversing the flow. So I'm going to be walking Tracy through these 4 steps of excavate, relate, oscillate, and liberate. And you're going to see how that works, what it feels like, and also how you can be applying that in your life and work as well. And I'm going to come back to that slide, but I want to show you what the words, the letters spell out. Arrow. And when I was given the 4 steps of step number 2, the excavate, relate, oscillate, and liberate, I was like, oh, well, that spells Errol. And I love mnemonic devices. I think that this is just so important when we're doing this transformational work, because we get trapped in our own brain jails, and it can really surprise us when we're doing all this work and suddenly we have these thoughts that are like, where did that come from? I thought I was making so much progress. You're always going to be presented with many opportunities to do these explorations and employ these tools. And so Errol means brave in Turkish. It is a name that means brave. So you are being brave when you are doing these steps, this Errol step number 2 in the metanoia method. So we are going to leave it at that. And I am going to bring on Tracy. Tracy, are you here?
Hello.
Yay!
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can't see you yet.
Yay! Okay, let me see if I can get I'm unmuted, definitely. I don't have an option to have a video.
Interesting. I don't know if Angeli can help us with that. It says talking permitted. And let me see more. Promote to panelist.
Let's see. The host would like, okay, join. I can try join as panelist.
Join as panelist, yeah. Yay, look at that magic. We did it. Oh my goodness, you look beautiful.
And so do you. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. I'm so happy to see you. And thank you so much for doing the live demo today for the metanoia method. So everyone, Tracy again was a participant in Courageous 3.0, which took place last fall, 2021. And Tracy is a poet, a published author, a Tai Chi and Yoga Nidra teacher, and also recently got her motorcycle license. As well as being a mother of 2 children. So Tracy is just an extraordinary, pure soul and just such a delight to be around. And I was so honored to lead her through Courageous and to have her in my field all along. And she was willing to come on and do a little exploration here. So Tracy, thank you so much again.
Thank you.
So let's do a little Swan Blossom Mudra to just really ground, connect. Tracy's laughing because this was a mudra that I downloaded from the Kite as we were going through Courageous last year, and we're just going to lead everyone through it. So closing the eyes and the hands come to prayer at the heart center, and just taking an easy breath here, arriving fully and completely in the body. And then on the next inhale, raising those fingertips up towards the ceiling, and exhale, spinning the palms out, opening through the hands very slowly, very gently, pushing the palms down to the earth, opening through the shoulders, feeling that wingspan of your arms. And the hands meet in front of you in prayer, bending the elbows, coming up towards the heart center, flipping the palms and allowing the thumbs to rest against the sternum, and arriving here with just a complete inhale and exhalation at your own pace. Beautiful. And then when you're ready on the next inhale, spinning those fingertips down to the earth, pointing the fingertips down to the earth, opening the hands out to the sides, palm facing down to begin. And then as we come up above the head, palms turn towards each other and meeting in prayer above the head, elbows bend, and the palms come down to the heart center. And another complete inhale and exhale at your own pace, slightly bowing the head. Oh, wonderful. And when you're ready, opening the eyes. That felt good.
Yeah.
So Tracy, what's alive in your body right now?
Gratitude. Straight away, straight away gratitude. This is such a joy and a blessing. And I'm just that movement of the swan blossom. I see our other wonderful journeyman, Scott, with us in the group. And it just feels very nourishing to have that infinite self perspective right now. Like it feels very potent, and also like a golden thread that's through the whole experience. Even though it happened a few months ago, I feel like it's alive right now in terms of gratitude and like full circle bliss. That's what's coming up. The word that's coming up for me is bliss. And I just really, truly appreciate your guide, your oracle guide. It's magical. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's just such fertile ground in the body when we take that time to tune in and open up to what's there. And I love that you were able to access gratitude right away and bliss, because that is just something that people are so disconnected from and they just don't know how to get there. So that was just so accessible to you. And that's glorious. So Tracy, I'm curious, as we excavate a little bit here in the beginning of our metanoia method arrow step, where in your life would you like to have more confidence?
Visibility online. Not just voice, definitely. I'm interested primarily in yoga nidra as a visualization through voice and a sound transmission with voice activation and toning, but also visibility, movement, and audio and video at the same time. So maybe a YouTube channel or something that would really presence the gifts that I want to share for people, and they can tap into them. There's just such a wealth of knowledge and information, but I think everyone's got such a signature kind of a coding in their gift, and you never know who it's going to resonate with. That could be of service to someone who just is out there in the world, in this kind of a parallel world, but not really. It's very I just think of it in terms of the golden thread. I think there's all ways to access it. So yeah, visibility online, more visibility
online, and in particular for this yoga nidra and the toning, and you just know that there are people that this could really help, and that there's just so much need for this as well.
Yeah, there really is. Sound healing, as well as just how you were describing the metanoia method with the reflection, an inward reflection, then magnifies outward, because then other people can share their gifts in the same turn. It's just a beautiful reciprocal exchange that can happen. Yeah.
Oh, that is such a good word.
Strangers.
Yeah, with strangers.
But there is no other. So we're not strangers. It's a beautiful thing. Really beautiful thing.
Beautiful. Yes. Okay. So specifically though, confidence with visibility online.
Yes.
So what happens when you go to show up online or think about showing up online? How does that feel when you start to have an experience of envisioning that?
Dry mouth, tingling in my whole nervous system kind of gets a really big activation charge, almost like a live wire feeling. And part of it's excitement, because I really truly feel very grounded, and I feel very grateful for sharing my gifts. And one of the mantras that Helena really keyed in for me way in the beginning of the Courageous, I was going to say program, and it's not. It's a golden thread path, returning to myself. It's this path that just comes right back to me in my heart. And it was the mantra of, I started in the beginning saying, I want to be safe. I want to be safe. I want to be seen, and I want to share. And right away, you were just like so laser focused. And you know, all of your suggestions are always so gentle and just beautiful and completely right on the money. And you said, let's go with I'm seen, I'm safe, I'm sharing. And that just opened up like a whole portal to be able to, I can be seen in any way I am, even if I stumble, even if I, you know, have any kind of a nervousness or a stammering like I'm doing right now. That's perfectly fine. It's so human and perfect. So I think my block can sometimes be one, technology, because I'm in the generation of, I'm not a digital native, or, you know, I'm 50 and I'm wanting to engage with, you know, the continuum of digital, you know, natives and nomads. Like, I want to be in this space. I want to contribute in this space. So I don't want to let the technology be a hindrance. Yeah, because I think I can show up whatever, you know, way I am, whatever wonky way I might be. Oh, and so it's a technology and partially the just the energetics that happen. And it's an excitement level, but it's also a nervousness. You know, it's a nervous excitement.
So first of all, I want to say that anxiety is excitement without the breath. So number one, okay. Bringing the breath in, like, yeah, take a breath. And that was so gorgeous what you just shared on so many levels. I feel like I could just shower you with gratitude, but I also want to keep us really focused here. And so it was sort of two things. It seems like there are sort of two branches to why you don't have the confidence in showing up more visibly online. And one is the nervousness, which is completely natural, totally understandable, and comes from so many directions at once. And then also this sort of belief around the technology and like where you stand, you're sort of on the bridge between the generations. And I'm also in that realm as well. I wasn't like raised with a screen. It was just, you know, Mark Zuckerberg is my peer, right? We were in school at the same time. So, and also I just want to say, like, your wonk is glorious. Like, what makes you wonky? And you were not stumbling at all. You thought you were stumbling, but you were so eloquent just then. There was no fumbling, no stumbling at all. So it's like the thoughts are telling you you're stumbling, you're fumbling, you're not making any sense. You made all the sense in the world right there. So everyone just needs to unmute themselves, open their mouths, and make sounds. Like, that's what the world needs.
Just flow, right? We can just flow with that wonkiness, because it's powerful. It's powerful.
Yeah. So the technology side is totally valid. But I will say, like, that's something to explore and to be open to when you have that nervous system that is positioned to feel like it's play, to try and understand the technology, because that's really what it is. I mean, the technology that we have now is like, it's like spirituality contained in a screen. It's just incredible. Like, Zoom is a deity and YouTube is a deity. Like, if you think about it that way, it's like, oh, I'm just getting to know this intelligence and how I can connect with it, how I can converse with it. And maybe it's finding a platform that feels good to you. Maybe it's actually a podcast. So that we're going to just sort of say, okay, we see you, technology, and this is very valid. And this is important because this is the vehicle for Tracy's voice getting into the world, and Tracy feeling audaciously confident and visible online. So we see you, we love you, and we're going to get to you. But first, we need to talk about this. You said the dry mouth and like the nervous system. You could feel it in the nervous system. So let's relate to that now. Let's relate to that. So what does that feel like to have the dry mouth? What else happens? What else is going on in your body?
You're freezing a little bit on me.
Oh,
Are you're better now.
good. Okay, good.
Yeah, I completely went back to a time in my life when I was really young and I wanted to be a Girl Scout, but I was only a brownie. I was just a brownie yet, and I was wanting to cross that bridge into Girl Scouthood. And I had to do this little, kind of like a little song or like a little story and into a mirror, one of those it was supposed to be a pond, but it was a mirror with like leaves and flowers around it. And I just froze and I ran away.
Wow.
So yeah, that's, Helena, you're so amazing with just, oh, it's the portal. You present this beautiful portal of like the ocean to dive down like a dolphin, and we just go there and you go there with me. I love it.
All right. Okay. Well, yeah, let me be there. Let me be there with you in that moment of needing to sing this song. I love that it's a mirror, because what are we talking about now? Reflections and projections.
Yes.
How old were you? How old were you?
Probably 6 or 7. Yeah.
So yeah.
Little.
Yeah. So formative and so malleable at that time. And there was a lot riding on this. Was this going to be like the bridge between Brownie and Girl Scout?
Yes.
Wow.
And there were many people, all the parents were gathered. And my mom, she doesn't bring it up, but I know that she remembers that point because I had to give a presentation in front of the whole school in my senior year, and I was able to do it. But I know that she was remembering that time when I was 7 and thinking, oh my goodness, is she going to be able to stand up and articulate and be eloquent in front of the whole high school? And I did. But yeah, it's still alive in me. I think in more of a compassionate way now. Like I feel really just grace descending on my little self who got nervous and decided to flee instead of, that's perfectly normal. And I love,
perfectly normal. But I would love to do a little infinite self rewriting here. So yeah, let's just close the eyes, take a nice deep breath in. Oh, I know, Tracy, you're so primed in your system and you're so used to listening to me, so you feel safe and know that you're so held in this experience, in this moment of accessing your infinite self. And I invite you, Tracy, now to imagine as you're here seated with your feet on the floor, feeling your legs against the chair, that you are looking in a mirror. Maybe it's your bathroom mirror, hallway mirror, mirror in your bedroom, but you're seeing yourself as you are today with your hair beautifully done and this wonderful magenta shirt that you have on. And you're just feeling so good and where you are in your life. You just have access to so many perspectives and tools. And you're here looking in the mirror, seeing yourself and knowing that you're just here for all of it, this full spectrum of human experience. And as you stand looking at yourself in the mirror, another mirror appears behind you. And this mirror appearing behind you begins to reflect upon itself, and the mirror reflecting back at you in front of you. And now the reflections begin to extend all the way out in front and all the way back behind, extending in both directions at once. And as you stand here looking in the mirror, you can see what seems to be so far back there when you were 6 or 7, but it's here right now too. And it's there going forward in what seems to be the future, the projection that's ahead of you. It's there in the reflection behind you. And you can see yourself as you stand here now being right next to that little girl who's standing in front above the mirror that's in the shape of a pond, expected to sing a song, and she's ready to do it so much as riding on it. There's so much pressure and excitement. She really wants to move, to bridge her way into this next version of herself, a new identity from Brownie to Girl Scout. And she knows she has a beautiful voice. She knows that she's been practicing. She knows that she's ready. And yet something happens and she freezes. She doesn't know what to do and she wants to run, and she absolutely can, but just for a brief moment, allow yourself to pause the scene, to step in and be by her side and wrap your arms around her and let her know that you are there and you understand exactly why she's going to run. And you can just let her know that she is safe and she is seen and she is sharing herself in such a beautiful way that no matter what she does, it's exactly right. It's exactly perfect. And that you support her and love her no matter what she decides to do. And now she can make the decision about what she wants to do based on the knowledge that she is safe, she is seen, and she is ready to share herself in whatever way she most wants to, whatever way she most desires. It can take whatever form she wants it to take. It doesn't have to be the song that the Girl Scouts told her she needs to sing. It can be her own song. It can be her own song because her song is the most glorious, gorgeous sound in the entire universe. And just wrapping your arms around her, seeing this reflected in the mirror, this scene that is behind you. You don't even have to say anything to her because she feels your love. She feels your presence as if an angel has swept in and rescued her from all of the pain and shame and guilt that she might feel, that people might be holding on to because they just can't even talk about it. She has now established herself as completely resilient to anyone and especially her own judgments. She's released and she moves into a place of total and complete levity around whatever she has experienced and whatever she has decided to do. And now taking your leave of this little girl and allowing the scene to unfurl as it will. And as she decides to conduct herself, knowing again that she is so loved and so cared for and so seen. And allowing now the mirrors to come back into alignment and to re-merge into one in front of you here now. In the present moment, as you are, with your feet on the floor and your legs against the chair, knowing that you have done extraordinary work today and healed what was in the past and also what was in the future, and fortified your own nervous system so that you can access that little girl who was so ready to cross the bridge into a new version of herself and carry her forth with you every time you say, I am seen, I am safe, I am sharing. And then actively, unabashedly express yourself with effervescent joy and levity. Taking a nice deep breath in, allowing the breath to travel all the way to the base of the spine and into the lungs. And exhaling. And opening the eyes when you're ready. Amazing. Beautiful work, Tracy. So I would love, now we related to this part of you that has the dry mouth, probably was an experience for this little girl that her mouth went dry and her nervous system said, flee, flee. And that is probably a part of your trauma response too. So it's allowing that to be the case and also creating the capacity to still be seen and to be speaking and to be sharing and to feel safe too. Sometimes we get into a place where it's like, it feels safer to not feel safe. It's like incredible. And so now if you have something you can hold, I like to use my selenite here. Oh, it's your monster. Oh my goodness. Okay, so just hold that in the right hand, which connects to the left brain, which is our very conscious mind. And repeat after me, holding that in the right hand. I want to be more visible online.
I want to be more visible online.
Great. And now crossing the middle line of your body, transfer that to the left hand, which connects to your right brain, which is your emotional brain. And say, I don't want to be seen online. I don't want to be more visible online.
I don't want to say that. I don't want to be more visible online.
Wonderful. Okay. And now back into the right hand. I want to be more visible online.
I want to be more visible online.
I don't want to be more visible.
I don't want to. I don't want to be visible. I can't even say it. It's making me laugh.
You can say it.
Because I don't feel it. It's not in my bones anymore.
Okay. Amazing. Well, then transfer it right back to the.
I want to be visible. I want to be more visible online. I can be more visible online. I will be more visible online. I am more visible online right now.
You are here in a webinar with like people from all over the world being seen.
You know, Helena, the word that resounded with me through that visualization, through that healing was resilient. And silliness, resilliness. We get to be resillied. We get to be silent. I get to be silent and collected and gathered, and then silly. And that's perfectly visible. So the vision of that, the vision of the resilient is my protection. And the visibility, not just the vision, because the vision for me has always, I'm very visionary, and it's always been kind of contained to my brain. In the brain jail, in the brain jail. But if I can bring that visionary aptitude into my body and be visible online, I can be silly.
You can be silly. And so this relates to me to the word wonk. You had this, like, when you said wonk, it had judgment.
Yeah.
And that right there is your gold. Like, you want to go into being visible. Like, how can I be as wonky as possible? Because that's going to be what makes you magnetic to people. And that's also what's going to make you feel more relaxed in being silly and give you like a flavor that no one else is bringing to the Tai Chi Yoga Nidra toning space. Like, be wonky, and like people seeing you being wonky and in full embrace, full approval of the wonk, they're going to relax and be like, yeah, I want to be, that's what I want too. Like, I want to be in her field because that feels so good.
Yeah, I'm seeing Gene Wilder, Willy Wonka, definitely Gene Wilder for the Willy Wonka, for the Willy Wonka. Just what's that quote that he has? And he says, reverse it at the end.
No, I'll have to look into that.
There's no time, something about time. Yeah, it's escaping me now, but he has a really interesting quote about time.
Oh my God, wonk.
Not that there's no time like the present, but I feel like in a timelessness embrace right now. So it's all good.
All
Yeah,
right.
I love the wonky word.
So now let's liberate a little bit. What does silly, what's a movement for silly for you? What's silly?
It's like that, you know, when you're going to a car dealership and
Yes.
that thing is there and it just
Make it
it
big.
has
Let me
all
see it.
different shapes
Let me see
and-
it. Make it bigger. Stand up. Let me see it.
Voice too. It's like it's all kinds of things, you know? It's great. Woo!
Amazing. Wow. Love that.
Very cool.
Tracy, so glorious, so beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank
for
you. Oh,
you
beautiful.
and for sharing yourself, for being seen, for feeling so safe, and for sharing yourself this way. You're amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. All
Beautiful.
right. Beautiful. Well, we are going to move into our final phase here of the webinar, which is talking about courageous. And Tracy, you already said that it's this golden thread life path. And if you have any other closing remarks for everyone as we move into this final phase here and talking about the program, do you have anything to share?
Oh, it was so much fun. I mean, if there's any cell in your body, which there has to be, because we're all here connected, like the vibration is really palpable, just go for it and it's a safe place. It's a safe place to just explore and set out, find new vistas for yourself, and then return home and integrate. It's really a wonderful listening path. It's a deeply listening path into your heart, you know? Yeah, beautiful.
Oh my goodness, Tracy, thank you so much. You have a beautiful heart, you're a beautiful soul, and I am so grateful to, again, have you in my field and to be in yours. And I can't wait to see what you do with the walk. All right, Tracy,
Thank you so much.
Back to attendee. And again, thank you so much.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
All right, everyone, I hope you enjoyed that live demo of moving through the air roll practice, being brave to approach what you might be feeling and also really embracing that there's a part of you that does want and does not want, and how to unite that. So that was like the spoken word, the physicality. We were also crossing over the midline. There were so many things going on in that experience, but that was just so much fun, and it went so smoothly, and I'm so happy to have given you that glimpse into what it is like to be coached by me and to be in spaces that I create. So now let's move into these final few moments of the webinar, and I'm going to pull up you're seeing the back end here of the webinar, and we need to go up to the top. Here we are with the Courageous Sales page. I'm going to make this quick because we only have 10 minutes left. We've already been here an hour and 20 minutes. Thank you so much for spending this time with me and bearing with us with all the intricacies that occurred today. And I will say that for the first 5 people to apply for Courageous, it is an application process. And when you apply, if you're a good fit, you'll get an excavation session with me, which is a 30-minute session. For the first 5 people that go through that process, I'm going to send you a transformational toolkit with some of my favorite products for journaling, for sacred self-care, some metaphysical tools, and of course, it's going to be infused with all of my fun, loving, joyful energy to assist you in your courageous journey. So that is a super special. I normally do not send physical items to program participants, but my one-to-one clients have loved those packages so much. So I'm bringing it into the courageous space this time for our 2022 round, which is Courageous 4.0. Oh my God, my 4th time running this beautiful program, which has been just such a joy to share with the world. So this is a 12-week group coaching experience for spiritual seekers who feel stuck trying to bring their creative projects to fruition and are ready to integrate their shadows for audacious confidence in their business and life. And when I say shadows, I mean both like the dark shadow and also your golden shadow, which I'm going to be sharing more about in these next couple of weeks. So we have some questions for you to help you self-identify, some amazing testimonials of people who have gone through courageous, and also really speaking about the infinite self, which you got to experience firsthand today. Normally don't share that openly. I keep it for the container, but it just felt like it was such an important part of the work that we do. And I wanted you to experience the unbelievable potency involved when you connect to that intelligence that's within you, the infinite self. And you just get to not only heal the past and tune into the future, but you get to create those boundaries. Like that infinite self is just always there for you. You can rely on the infinite self and you can stop feeling guilty and stop second guessing yourself. There's so much energy that is drained when you are thinking, you know, when you're in this state, the head body divided state. Let's bring it together and screw the head on straight. Allow the head to bow to the heart, which is really done through both psychological and somatic practices. So I get into a lot of the etymology and like why this is happening. And oh my God, I love this. Oh, and I need to actually refresh this page. I'm just remembering because there were updates that were made. And look at that. There's the update. This is Robin. She was Courageous 1.0, one of my very first cohorts of this program. It was really almost like a workshop at that time. It was 5 weeks, 5 modules, and now it's a 12-week program. It's 6 modules, and it is grown and expanded so much. And Robin has said multiple times that she still goes back to review the content of the course. And every time she goes back, she learns something new, she gains a new tool, and she literally rewatches the modules and the coaching calls. So, you know, a lot of people out in the internet space, when they run programs, they're like, oh, you'll have lifetime access. And it's like, oh, who's ever really going to do that? It actually happens with this course. People go back and watch and re-listen and re-engage because you are an infinite self. You are always changing. And so you're a different person when you come back to these tools. And these are just tools you're going to be able to use your entire life, your infinite existence. So now imagine feeling energized when you wake up in the morning. Oh God, you don't want to like pull the covers over your head. You're just like, oh, yes, greeting the day, feeling so good, ready to nourish your soul with whatever you are doing, whatever you are creating. Boldly posting that yoga nidra tai chi wonky video. It is out there. You are ready. You are so excited about it. And you just don't have the fear of what people are going to think. And I'm thinking of this amazing Coco Chanel quote. I have this little book of quotes by her. I don't care what you think about me. I don't think about you at all. And that's the kind of energy that you're going to have. It's like there are going to be people that think like, oh, this is weird and wonky. Well, guess what? Those aren't the people for you. The people that want to be around you and benefit from you and learn from you, they're going to love the weird and wonky. And Courageous helps you tune into that, express that, and embody that. So you have probably been doing a lot of healing work, doing workshops. I get into a little of my bio here, what led me into my spiritual awakening and being a teacher in this way. And really like why we do this shadow work. This is a multimodality experience. We take lots of different traditions. There's yoga that is associated with every module. Every module has a yoga practice, journal prompts, meditations, as well as supported by the coaching Q&A calls, and so much other juicy goodness, which I'm going to get into here. So the metanoia method, you can read about the metanoia method, how it came to be, how it is progressing and developing. Here is our image. So you can come back to this and you can walk yourself through what Tracy just did in the live demo. And here is also a rundown of the modules. So we go through inquiring. So it's really establishing the engagement and conversation with the infinite self. And you've gone a long time without having that engagement and that conversation. So we need to do some healing of the relationship and bringing those selves together and meeting in the intersection of your crossroads in the core of your being, in your heart. And this is just going to immediately, right off the bat, module 1, renewed energy. And then in module 2, we do a lot of excavating around joy in particular. Joy is likely hanging out and kicking around in that golden shadow, which is being compressed and repressed by your overall shadow aspects, it's all in the unconscious. So it's, how do we bring that forward? How do we work with this very high vibrational state of joy and express from that place? Not many people express from their joy. Let me tell you, I know you can see it. I know you can feel it. So we need as many people as possible expressing from joy and creating from it. Module number 3 gets into the depths here because we are developing a new relationship with anxiety and fear. It's so easy to say, I'm anxious, I'm fearful, I need to get rid of it. But we're going to be flipping the switch on all of that. Module 4, we do a lot of liberation work. This is an existential kink intensive. Existential kink is a transformational technology in which I am certified. And it is a way to unite the unconscious mind and the conscious mind through somatics. And it's a meditative process. It is so much fun. It is so effective. And it's absolutely one of my favorite tools to liberate energy and alchemize heavy, leaden judgments, experience, thoughts, feelings into pure gold. Module 5 is an integration. We do still have content and also the coaching and Q&A calls, but it is you stepping into a new identity and greeting a new reflection. And this is not always easy work to do. Sometimes it is painful, and it is probably a reason why your ego conscious mind is like, why would I want audacious confidence? Why would I want to be courageous when things are going to fall away? It's going to be painful. I'm going to have to buy new clothes. My life might not fit anymore. But when you step into this new reflection, greet it in this open-hearted way, all the good stuff comes to you and it feels so good. You can relax into it. Module 6, we focus on communicating and asserting loving boundaries. And sometimes these loving boundaries are, well, they always are medicinal. They're medicinal for you and they're medicinal for the people that you're putting them in place for. And they're medicinal for what you want to be creating. This is boundaries. This is the banks of the river. This is how we initiate the flow and create the direction and the focus required to really exist in that place of having audacious confidence. If you don't have boundaries, if your energy is leaking out all over the world, the river ain't flowing. It's just becoming like a delta instead of a very powerful river. You're not creating flow, you're creating leakage. And that is very debilitating to your energetic system and to everyone around you. So boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. I love boundaries so much. I love them for myself. I love teaching them. And we do it in a really fun way. So here is a rundown of everything you get, the meditations, the movement videos, the modules with the journal prompts and practices, 15 live group coaching calls for focused attention. We have an opening ceremony as well as weekly coaching calls and a closing ceremony. And then there's also a bonus call in there as well. Fun and supportive environment. It's really important to be around other people doing this work. It is internal, it is personal, it is individual, but when individuals are doing it together, you get to see your progress reflected back at you, and you get to experience the medicine of other people, even though there are no others. And being in community, and also unlimited group Voxer access for fluid exchange and conversation and support from me throughout the 12 weeks. So whenever you're doing whenever it's happening real time, you can be popping in and sharing with the group through your voice, through a text message, through images, through video. Oh my goodness, Voxer is so amazing. Also, our modules and our and questions are posed, like everything's housed on a private platform. This is not on social media. So you're not dealing with Facebook or anything like, or Circle or anything like that. This is in the private platform and in Voxer. So it's super clean, super contained. And this is how you get Courageous on your desktop, laptop, phone, pad, whatever. And that yoga is a really big part of it. The somatic, the movement. Absolutely. These are, again, wonderful, wonderful testimonials. And I do want to talk quickly about bonuses. Number one is the Dream Translation Masterclass. We didn't even really get into dreams today in the masterclass, but let me tell you how your infinite self really loves to communicate with you is through the golden road to the unconscious mind, your nighttime dreams. And I love dream work so much. And the last round of Courageous, everyone benefited so much from the dream translation work that I'm bringing it back by popular demand and making it a bonus. So you get the dream translation worksheet as well as a PDF. And we're going to do a live workshop where you are going to have your own dreams directly worked with me in the group setting. And you can bring a dream that you've had within the container. It can be a dream you've had in the past, and you're just going to understand it in a whole new way. Bonus number 3, access to 3 of my most beloved virtual summits. And I outline them below, get into more details. You're going to be able to access this webpage on your own. And then the final bonus number 4 is an identity alchemy coaching session. This is a exclusive single session format. I walk you through the identity alchemy process, which I have created, and you truly are a different person on the other side of this. So some past sessions, some clients have experienced just shedding of the metaphorical weight. 60 years of therapy hadn't helped. Coaching can be just a huge breakthrough for you. And this session itself is a $2,000 value. So total bonus bundle value is $5,000. And some more amazing testimonials. We get into some logistics. My promise to you, people get such amazing results. I take such good care of you. There is not another program out there like this at all. A little bit of a glimpse into helping you identify whether this is for you or not for you, some results that you can expect, and also more testimonials. So it is, and some Q&A as well. So it's about 30 minutes per day plus the weekly coaching calls. And I really want to make sure you feel the yes, like the full body yes, like your body, like really truly leaning into this, saying yes, guiding you to this experience. And we get into some of the nitty gritty, what Voxer is, what happens when you apply, and also what dream work is more specifically. And that, I think, let's see, and here's the schedule too. We're going to meet on Wednesdays from 1 to 2:30, with the exception of a little blip in the end of January. And then we do have some Monday and some Friday calls for like the opening ceremony and the dream translation workshop, but mostly it is on Wednesdays. So that is the overview of Courageous. And I am going to, I don't know if I can pop it in the chat, but it's www.hgrantstyle.com/courageous. And I will be sharing that, of course, via email. And remember that the first 5 people to apply and go through their excavation session and sign up get the additional bonus of the metaphysical toolkit that is just going, the transformational toolkit that's just going to absolutely open you up in so many ways and support you in your journey. Now you've connected with the infinite self, and it is so available to you and ready to assist, guide, and help you have more audacious confidence and feel safe being seen and sharing. The world needs so much more of that, coming from that effervescently joyful, integrated place with levity and assistance, that healing, beautiful, crystalline healing energy. So let's see. hgrantstyle.com/courageous. That is the link. I don't know if you can see it because the chat was wonky. But again, it will be coming out via email with the replay, which will be available in 24 hours. And I have to say again, I missed seeing everyone in the chat, but thank you so, so much for being here. It was my true honor to deliver this transmission, these insights, these teachings to you. Thank you so much to Tracy for sharing herself so beautifully, so authentically in the live coaching. And thank you all so much for being here today. For those watching the replay, thank you to all of you for being in my audience, because you help me be more audacious. And I love helping you have more audacious confidence. So go forward, be seen, go share, go be wonky. I love you so much. Thank you all. Until the next, so much love to you. Bye, everyone.